Welcome to the Spearo Diaries podcast with Laura and Elise, two Kiwi mermaids chatting spearfishing and ocean adventures.
We love interviewing interesting and inspirational Spearo humans and getting their perspective on how they began their personal journey into the sport that we love. So come join us in yarning about why they enjoy spending time with fins on and a spear gun in hand.
This episode is a delightful and insightful conversation with another wahine weapon of the seas and an absolute sweetheart. Since recording, she has become a mama of another great little human with her partner Jackson.
She's very modest about her achievements with a passionate zest for competition. She has a unique way of describing her link to the spearfishing lifestyle. So get ready to be inspired and impressed by this fierce mermaid.
Our sophisticated Spearo, Moana Mumma, Sophie Hamilton. Let's dive in. Well, tonight we are sitting down to chat in the home of the lovely Sophie Hamilton and her partner Jackson Shields and their little wee human Max and their beautiful little cat Archie. While they're waiting for their new little mini diver to arrive into the world. So welcome, Sophie.
Thank you for having me, guys. It's so weird to be on a spearfishing podcast because I'm literally like in the biggest gap I'll ever be in for spearfishing. So
A perfect time to sit down and talk about it though, eh? Like, because you've definitely been in and around the spearfishing world for such a long time. So yeah, thanks for being here and we're so stoked to be able to get you on the potty.
welcome.
Well, myself and Elise, we like to give the listeners a bit of context into how we know you or not. And we both recently competed with you in February for the women's division of the New Zealand Nationals in your home turf of Wellington. And yeah, we've seen your involvement, and I remember when I first started getting into spearfishing, you were one of the first online gals that I spotted and had a look at your account and just thought like, oh, like what a badass. And yeah, and everything that you've done with your involvement with the New Zealand spearfishing teams over the years, how you've come into the sport, and obviously you've been on many of the Inter-Pacific comp teams, recently in Mumma in 2023. If anyone takes a little scroll online, they can see that you've obviously slayed some pretty big kingies while pregnant, and been on many numerous epic dive trips, featured on witty TV episodes and all sorts of things like that. We know our interactions with you, but also a lot of other people that we've asked about you for this interview have fed back to us just the same repeated thing, basically, which is that you are a lovely human and a very amazing Spearo. So we're excited. You're passionate about spearfishing. I know you're saying you haven't been in the water much lately and you've had this big gap, but just all the things that people have told us about you and everything that we've learnt about you just indicates that you are an amazing wahine in the water, and we're really keen to ask you more things and find out more about you and get to know you a little more over this chat. And yeah.
That was long and glowy. Oh gosh.
Oh, you're glowing.
Didn't even get it all in, actually. Looking here, I actually left something off. I know recently
burning.
you were also featured in Amber's photography exhibition in Hapu.
Yeah, happy. Yeah.
There's a beautiful photo of you in the light in your wetty gear and your spearfishing.
Just up there, yeah.
Oh, really? Was that out here?
Yeah, and it was so funny because I actually, while I was doing that photo shoot at like dawn, I went and shot a kahawai as well.
Hell yeah, you did. That's so
Yeah,
cool.
It was hilarious.
And you're saying that you have a bit of time out the water at the moment, but it's actually not just due to, being pregnant for you is not something that has made you stop being in the water. It's to do with something else that we'll talk about later on in the podcast and get all of the rundown on how that all happened.
Yep.
But for now, Sophie, this question here is there a specific time in the ocean that's impacted you and your life? And that's just like thinking about one particular memory or a day that you can just remember that just kind of glows. That's just like, you know, you just every now and again you have moments that are just like, oh my God, this is incredible.
It's kind of a leading question, right? And it kind of makes you think that maybe this would have happened when you're young or when you were a teenager or, you know, a kid. But I literally didn't have anything to do with the ocean at all. Like, I was positively terrified of the ocean until I started spearfishing in 2018 or so. So
Wow.
literally,
Okay.
I hated it. Like, I hated the beach. I was terrified, something stupid of the water. So like really my first great memory of the ocean was basically the same thing that started me off with spearfishing. So I think I can kind of mold those two questions
Yeah,
together.
sure.
And basically I went to Japan with my sister for 6 weeks. And we had a great time traveling together, but it was so hot. It was so hot, and it was September, and I was just like, oh my goodness, it's so hot. I feel like if I'm this hot, I should be in the water. And we got to a point in our trip together where we decided to split up, and I went to Okinawa, which is like a subtropical island south of Japan, and she went up to mountain yoga onsen retreat. It was an amicable split, by the way, but I went to Okinawa, and it was lovely, beautiful, and the first day I was there, I went and did a snorkeling charter, and I don't think I'd ever been snorkeling as an adult, or even a child, I don't know, but it was the most beautiful, clear, amazing water, and I just felt like I was flying through another world that I'd never been to. It was so impressionable on me, and like from that minute I was just completely addicted to being in the water. Such a weird experience though, because like the tourism there, I was just the most competent in the water by far. Like everyone else was holding onto a boogie board. We had scuba divers who smoked like 2 packs of cigarettes a day and could only be scuba diving for about 5 minutes. So
Right.
I was just like, I'm too competent for this snorkeling charter.
Yeah. What's happened here?
Yeah. But anyway, it was great. And after that, I went and brought a snorkel, a mask, and a pair of like tiny little yellow rubber fins. And I just went snorkeling around Okinawa by myself for 10 days. It was,
How did the fear fall away, you know?
gosh, I mean, it didn't. Like, I
Okay.
stayed in like 5 meters of water the whole time, basically. And, you know, as soon as I'd see a drop off of any kind, I'd be terrified. But yeah, no, honestly, it was just such an eye-opening experience for me. And of course, like the water there is pristine and crystal clear and everything. And where I was, there was no fish because it was just so shallow. But yeah, I just,
Obviously, that feeling of being in the water was better than the
Yeah.
fear of being in there too. So you can
For
surpass
sure.
that because it's so amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like being, I think I like being cool. I liked the sensation that you're almost like running or flying through the water. I was a runner at the time, and I was just like, I can run through the water and I'm in a different world. It's like, yeah, it was great.
So I read a thing the other day that was really, really special that said, what is it about the water that calls a person to the haven where the heart longs to be? And it's almost like that kind of just sometimes just unboxes, and you suddenly just need to be in the water, and it almost just calls you home, you know?
Yeah, I think it was like this whole kind of spearfishing journey, and that moment was such a wake-up call for me. And like my life has been so shaped obviously by spearfishing. I have a child with somebody who spearfishes now and everything like that, so I've been so shaped by it. And I mean, there's a question that you usually ask about what spearfishing means to you. I don't think you've included it in my list, but that's
Okay.
fine. That's fine. But like honestly, it just means so much. Like I think there's like this spiritual aspect that that I haven't really come to terms with yet. But I think it's there, and I think even maybe for women it might be stronger. Like I think we've got this weird connection with the water that maybe we don't even know that much about. But I don't know. There's so much to it, right? There's the challenge, there's the fear, there's camaraderie, there's adventure. So it's crazy. Like I feel like I was born a new person with this obsession around water and spearfishing and freediving and everything. So yeah.
It's cool that you remembered that question because sometimes we dilly-dally around with the questions that open people up the most, but we do have one about like well-being, like how it impacts
Yeah.
your well-being later on in our little question schedule. But that's really cool to hear that you can reflect on that, and it does lead from, I guess, your first experience in the water, and it sounds like it was like you can really tune into that time, which is really awesome because a lot of people can't
For sure.
quite put their finger on it.
Yeah.
But I guess, like you said, it ties into then how you then got into spearfishing. So, how did your spearfishing journey begin?
Yeah, well, it was pretty much around that time, and my boyfriend at the time, he was a Spearo and a freediver, and I just remember thinking, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, you go into the water, like, on purpose, where it's terrifying and murky and cold, and there are great white sharks and everything, and you do this. It was just so fascinating to me. Like, I was blown away. And like freediving as well, like, oh my goodness, people can do that with their bodies. Like, and there's just so many like biological things behind freediving that are just so fascinating too. So I was completely blown away by it, and I just never thought in a million years that I would do that, because I was so scared of the water and so not in that world. But yeah, like after I went to Okinawa and snorkeled and gave that a go and fell in love with being in the ocean, eventually got my chance with him, and I think the first thing I ended up shooting was a catfish in Lake
Nice.
Taupo.
Nice. Catfish cull action.
No, it wasn't. It was just a random. I think we were just testing a boat or something on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you just went to find some catfish?
Yeah, and I mean, I stabbed a catfish and it came off promptly, and that was kind of my first fish that I lost. And then after that, went out in actual ocean in Wellington, and it was incredible. It was really incredible. I shot a moki and a butterfish, and that was my
Amazing.
lead into it.
Was that on a pronga Hawaiian sling,
No,
or did
that
you
was-
switch to a
That
spear
was a
gun for that?
Yeah, into a real gun then.
Awesome.
Yeah. Good
Can you
times.
remember the feeling like of, getting that first fish?
Yeah, I think, I don't know, I never thought that I would be a hunter, but it turns out you get such a thrill from it. Like, honestly, there's something about it. You just get such a thrill from getting your first fish. And I mean, now they're kind of, fish that I don't even want to shoot a moki now, but it's just not even a fish that you get excited about. But I was just like, wow, I can actually do this. It's such a cool thing to get into. What an opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
Now looking back though, like when you say you wouldn't think of yourself as ever being a hunter, now looking back, you're like, oh yeah, there's moments in my life where I'm like, yep, I was made for this. Or is it just fully a new thing for you?
oh, such a new thing. But I guess I guess that I've always been so into the outdoors and everything like that, and I guess mainly into the challenge, or into challenging myself and into bettering yourself. So there's something about hunting that really addresses that and really satisfies that need to do something or to achieve something. So
For sure.
and it's just so primal, when you're you're looking for a fish and you're about to that hunt. It's so primal. So
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Are you when you go down and take a dive, and if it doesn't go exactly the way you want it to, on your way back up, are you always thinking about what you could do better next dive? Or are you just just do it,
No.
just go straight back down and have another go? Or
No, I'm generally probably thinking, oh God, I need to breathe.
yeah, that makes sense too. That makes sense too.
No, I try not to overthink things like that too much, I guess, because you can always have another go. I mean, sometimes when you miss a big snap, you're like, oh God, no. But,
Okay.
yeah.
So you entered the world of spearfishing, you became a huntress, and then the rest is kind of history, I guess, because, I mean, your name is synonymous in New Zealand with women spearfishing.
No,
But,
it's not.
but it is. If you do the research, you look it up, and we have. But would you refer to yourself as a Spearo?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've done a lot of freediving as well. When I first started, I was probably equally going to freediving maybe 2 or 3 times a week even, and doing a lot of spearfishing too. But definitely the spearfishing, it's just so much more compelling and dynamic, and 100%, yeah. What else am I? I think there have been periods of my life where 90% of my personality has been spearfishing. For sure.
Yeah. I don't know what that's like.
Yeah, you guys have met Elise. I was Elise. This is the level of passion we're talking about. I was so obsessed. It just became my everything. It's embarrassing.
Don't be embarrassed, we started a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure me and Laura are both exactly like that.
You're who I was. I was you. So, yeah, no, 100%.
So what does it mean to you? So you say, yes, you're a Spearo, then what does it mean to you to be one? Could you put that into words?
Well, I guess it's just, there's so many aspects to what it means. For me, it's that facing the fear and doing it anyway. I found that that's such an important thing in life, that if there's something that scares you, that you kind of challenge it and you face that fear. And this isn't a one-time thing for me. This is an ongoing, I'm always scared thing with spearfishing. But that's why it's so satisfying. The ocean is so scary, and I think it's probably a good thing to acknowledge that, really.
It's refreshing to hear, to be honest, that, the other people that I see as so much more experienced than me and so brave also get scared. So it's cool to hear.
No, and the thing is, I feel like I'm really new to this still, because I mean, I got into it in 2018, and then COVID happened, and then I had babies, and so I've been pregnant or breastfeeding since 2021. So I still feel new, and maybe I'm not new. Maybe I'm just kidding myself. But I feel like I'm so fresh, and I
You're
feel
seasoned now, Sophie.
I feel like I'm just this little baby Spearo. But yeah, like I think a big thing for me is just that facing the fear, doing something that scares you, and you grow so much from it. You get so much from it. You're challenging yourself with things that you've never done before. And I think that's probably pretty important, right, as humans, to keep learning and challenging ourselves. As I kind of mentioned before, like just like the people that you meet as well, and the friendships that you bond with, the experiences that you share is amazing. So, and then adventure. Like, when do you ever get this kind of adventure in a normal situation? Like, the things that I've seen that I would never dream of that I had seen before in the past. Like, my life was so boring before this, and now I'm just like, oh my goodness. So you're just constantly chasing this crazy high, right? Because you have to keep trying to one up these experiences and this adventure. It's amazing. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, I think for me being a Spearo, there is something spiritual to it, and I haven't figured it out yet. Like, I don't know if it's purely like the hunting side or some kind of connection that we have to the water as humans. Like, I think it's maybe more innate than we realize.
We were El Mermaids once from Lemuria, basically, right?
Yeah. No, like
Probably why we feel like we know you. Sisters from the deep.
exactly. Well,
Past life.
the thing is, like, I think New Zealanders, like, we don't realize the connection that maybe we have to the water. We're so close. Like, even when I grew up in Wellington and had no connection to the water, I was still always in like viewing distance to the ocean. And it wasn't until I lived in Leeds in the UK, which is just absolutely in the middle of the UK, and I didn't see the ocean for a few months, that I was like, oh, actually, this is like something that I need in my life. I need to be near the ocean. Like, it's actually a big deal.
Yeah.
Don't feel right, when you're away from it. It just feels wrong.
Yeah. So I think maybe there's this deep connection, and I don't understand how people live in like Canada away from the ocean and they never see the ocean in their lives.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, it's so
Or just any big body of water, like,
Yeah.
I mean, particularly the ocean, like, even if you look at a really beautiful lake, it's still stunning, but my God, like, I would take a
know.
beach over a lake any moment.
I know, but I think as humans we need to be either near a lake or an ocean, and it's just there's something about it. And I mean, there are books about this that we can read.
Like the blue zone and
Yeah,
the blue
yeah.
effect and water
100%,
therapy and
yeah.
our connection and all that, through
Yeah.
our DNA. Like, there's heaps of different studies, which is real interesting.
Yeah.
I read about it a lot as well.
You guys are going to think I'm so weird, but when I was doing lots of free diving and spearfishing, if I was out of the water and I saw the water, I'd get like this tingling sensation, like under my eyes, like just on the tops of my cheeks here. And that sounds really weird, but like there's like a physiological thing that happens when you're diving, like
Your
you get
mammalian thing?
Yeah, the mammalian dive reflex that I think is like triggered by your cheeks, which is super weird. So I get this tingly feeling when I just looked at the water.
Almost like when you salivate when you drive past McDonald's or KFC,
Basically,
but a different kind of thing.
yeah,
Is that
like
kind
the
of what you
free-
mean?
the
Like,
free
you see the
diving
water
level.
and your brain's like, ready
100%.
to free dive.
Yeah.
Wow, that's buzzy. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's not that weird.
Yeah, It's, I was like, I need to be in the water, and I'm not. It's just, that's how addicted I was. I'd get the tingly feeling. And so, like, obviously when you're saving somebody from a blackout and they're on the surface, you breathe on their cheeks. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's like the same sort of receptors. So there you go.
True.
Sorry, that was a really long answer.
No,
to it.
that's good.
It's good. We want long, juicy answers.
For sure. What could you describe for us your ideal dive buddy?
Oh, this is such an interesting question because
Because are you allowed to say, your partner, or are you supposed to say someone else? Or?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I think I come at it from a different perspective because my dive buddy has always been my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's kind of in some ways a good thing, in some ways a terrible thing. But I guess it gives me a few different perspectives on what makes a good one. And I really feel like being able to dive with somebody who's better than you is such a blessing. Like, especially getting to dive with Jackson, of all people. Like, he's an incredible diver. There's so much you can learn from them. So it's like this incredible blessing because I'm seeing an absolute pro in
You'd just be learning so much, like, constantly, hey?
100%. So, and with that comes the challenges of trying to keep up with him. Like, oh my goodness, he swims so fast, he dives so deep, you know,
It's like me swimming with Elise.
basically. But yeah, it's just crazy. And like trying to keep up, trying to dive, trying to shoot the same fish, all sorts of things like that. But then there's like another side to it too, where like actually sometimes it's better when you're just not being spoon fed or diving like that, like when you're actually just figuring it out for yourself.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I think the best diving and learning I've done would probably be when I've just been by myself.
Yeah.
Not with Jackson, with just snooping along, going for snapper by myself, or you know, maybe I am with Jackson, but I found a John Dory by myself, or I found a boarfish by myself, or whatever it is. Like, I think that's always been the most satisfying diving, is when you can go and figure it out and do it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, probably if you're going to find a dive buddy, you want to find someone who's got a lot of experience and can show you the ropes and stuff like that. But you also need that space to figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like other people, well, I mean, like it's sad I haven't been given the opportunity to dive enough with other people.
Yeah.
And I think one of the biggest takeaways I've found is that just sometimes enthusiasm or joy or passion is like one of the best things. And I remember like just struggling to find comp buddies, and especially women, like
Oh, totally. Yeah.
finding women to dive with for comps is
Yeah.
so hard. And
Yeah.
Kerry really blew me away, actually, Kerry Walden, who you've interviewed, because she was just so enthusiastic and so just open to giving it a go. And I was just so happy.
And
that
such a
somebody
calming
wanted to-
presence in the water at the same time.
Yeah, I was just so happy she wanted to dive with me.
She had great things to say about you, actually. She was one who said you were a very sharp shot and that you were just lovely to be with and just really awesome to dive with. And
I missed so many blue mau mau that day, I'm sure.
that was not her recollection. But I mean, we've also seen that obviously you've had some pretty lethal combos with women. You've dived with Jackie and Alex Edwards, like you said, Kerry Walden, and I think Teresa as well, and many of the teams. But I mean, it's a shame to hear that it has been a tricky process to find, consistent female dive buddies or buddies other than boyfriends. But at the same time, that's probably been, that's pretty testing too, to be really, really close to someone and be in those quite stressful situations where you're learning from them. You're put under a lot of, unexpected changes in a water environment. So, I mean, you must have a pretty good temperament and thick skin to be able to learn off someone you're dating.
No, Jackson would say the opposite. Like, honestly, we've probably been so mad at each other so many times when we were diving. Like, honestly, we'll be each other's worst enemies. And, like, he's my dive buddy, but he probably wouldn't say the same about me. I'm probably just the person that's there with he's got so many other dive buddies, like Paul and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Diving with
Dive life buddy.
Yeah.
You got two more dive buddies sitting across
Yeah,
the
I was
table
gonna
from you
say
two.
that.
by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, yeah.
Yeah, I know you're going to give birth in less than a week, hopefully, for
Hopefully,
you anyway.
yeah.
And then, once that's all done, we're here ready.
Yeah, well, I've got a few more issues that I have to sort out first.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we will bring that up soon.
Before we roll into any interesting and challenging stories you might have for us, one of our classic questions is to have a Dear Diary, Spearo Diary's Dear Diary entry, which is kind of, it can be positive or negative, but something that is, one of the amazing days or experiences or dives you've had that you can recall.
Yeah,
for
for sure.
us.
Yeah. Cool. I've thought about this, and we've had a few amazing dives out towards White Island from Whakatane over the years. Like, we just had 2 years in a row of just the most incredible experiences. And the first year around we saw a whale shark.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not even going to tell you that one.
That's genuinely my ultimate dream.
Whale shark at White Island. Oh my goodness. So cool. But I'm not going to tell you that day. I'll tell you the next year.
Okay.
So we shot out from Whakatane in the morning, and the plan was that we'd go towards White Island, but if we saw any kind of surface action, any kind of sign of tuna, skipjack, anything like that, we would get in the water. And then we'd do the same on the way back. But we were kind of anticipating there'd be more action maybe in the afternoon on the way back. And so we headed out, kept our eyes peeled. It's always fun looking out for big workups and stuff like that. We got in at a small workup, and there were skippies. I think I was in the water first, actually. And there was this, I just remember thinking, holy shit, there's a big shark here. There's a really big shark. What is that? I'm sure that can't be a bronzy. Why is there a bronzy in the middle of the blue ocean? And I was thinking, maybe that's a bull shark. But anyway, I think even Jackson was like, that's a really big looking bronzy, and it's in a pretty weird spot. But anyway, that was this one shark that kind of came in and left.
What kind do you think it might have been? Like a big tiger or?
Well, no, not a tiger, but we figured out later that they were probably dusky whalers.
Okay.
Which are more like a pelagic kind of shark, whereas, bronzies don't really tend to pop up in the middle of the blue where there's no structure so
How
much.
cool.
But I remember being in there first, like, oh my goodness, what is this thing? That's so big. But
That's always
anyway,
my fear, getting in first and seeing something and no one believing you. You're like by yourself, like, no, honest, I saw something.
I think they saw it. But anyway, this Skippy meatball wasn't super on, but there was an albacore that came through, and I think John missed it, and it was good fun, whatever. Anyway, we kept moving. We went to White Island, and it was just pristine, 30-meter viz, basically, just crazy. You could see everything from the surface. It was amazing. We didn't actually spend that long at White in the end. It's just the classic, big pinkies, big blueies, a few kingfish down deep. But we ended up going back early to go hunt for these big bait balls again and see if there was any tuna. But we managed to happen along a workup, and there was just a huge bait ball in the water that we could see from the surface. And Jackson got in first. I was still dilly-dallying on the boat, as I probably do, and he jumped in with a camera and a gun, I think, and as soon as he jumped in, he jumped out again. We were all just like, what? And he's like, there are 5 massive sharks in here, and there's so much going on. And he was like, Sophie, you need to get in with me. And I was like, oh, what?
You're like,
and
maybe.
you need to hold the camera or hold the gun or whatever it was. And so I was like terrified more than I'd ever been in my life, and got in the water, and there's this huge bait ball of sardines or whatever tiny fish they were, just being absolutely pummeled by skipjack tuna. And it was just an incredible sight. But not only that, you had these humongous sharks just going through the bait ball, either just from the side or coming right up from the deep. And there were like literally probably 7 at one point. And these were big sharks. They were bigger than bronzies, and I was just absolutely shaking, but in awe. Like, I was so scared. You had gannets diving everywhere. It's just the craziest thing. So much action. And the bait ball would just move up and down, and beautiful. But well, I'm just like absolutely terrified and trying to get used to the whole thing and trying to keep my eye on every single shark. Jackson spots a yellowfin tuna, so
No way.
hands me the
Sweet.
camera and grabs a gun, and I'm just like quivering with a camera, not realizing what's going on, not recording the tuna at all,
Right.
just recording the sharks that came near me and screaming as they did. But yeah, no, it was such a sight. Like, honestly, just we've got footage of it on Wahine TV, and I'll never forget. Like, I'll never forget how I felt and how terrified I was, and then how, like, we probably spent like hours in the water with this bait ball. Like, it just subsided. Like, that fear kind of subsided, and you just turned into like this kind of placid observer, and it was just an incredible experience.
Far out, that sounds amazing. So you
Yeah.
almost just became a part of the whole thing as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, fish were like hiding behind us to get away from the tuna. Like, all these little sardines would come and hide with us, and yeah, by the end of it, like, there were 5 big boats around us trying to get in on the action too, and we were just...
I'd be amazed just to see one part of that. I'd be stoked if I saw a sardine. I'd be stoked if I saw a skipjack. I'd be, but all of that together, that's so amazing.
Yeah. Actually, the most surprising part of it were the gannets. Like, if the bait ball moved down like 15 metres, the gannets would be still diving 15 metres or so down.
I'm pretty sure they can dive down to 40 meters.
Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Gannets can, like, for the like speed that they hit the water, they can get down to 40, which is
Yeah.
wild.
Amazing.
So those skipjacks, it wasn't the day that you got your skipjack tuna record?
See, this is where the baby brain situation comes in. It could have been.
There was a skipjack at some point that you have a record for.
I think I had already shot a skipjack tuna record, though, maybe, potentially. Then maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm making things up. So.
They're quite rare to see, aren't they? Because I don't know anyone who's talked about seeing them.
Well,
I haven't seen many photos. I mean, they're not unusual, but
Yeah,
are
like for
unusual.
the diving that we do, it's unusual. But when you're like targeting blue water pelagics, like if you're specifically going off Whakatane in summertime to go and target these bait balls, they're pretty common. Like
Okay.
the year before when we saw the whale shark, we were seeing huge schools of skippies on the surface. Like they weren't doing the bait ball thing, they were just big schools and we were swimming in them. So I definitely shot one then, and that might have been my record. So yeah, I'll have to read
Can't
my
believe you
notes.
saw a whale shark. Oh, I love that
I know,
so much. It's
I
like,
know.
can't
In New
wait.
Zealand waters too.
Dreamy.
I know.
I saw the footage from that and it just blew my mind.
Yeah.
It was a big one too.
It's funny because Jackson had just shot a trevally and we were off like off one of the big pins, I think, and Darren sped over to us in his boat and was like, okay guys, there's either a massive great white shark or a whale shark swimming right towards you. And we were like, okay, that's quite
The size of that, but you're hoping it's a whale shark.
yeah, we were just like, oh my gosh. And I'm just so petrified of the idea of a white shark that I immediately jumped onto the boat and Jackson's just
Nope.
like, I've got this trevally.
Fend for yourself.
Yeah,
Just ditch them with a trevally.
100%. I'm so happy to ditch him, whatever, he's fine. Anyway, so I jumped up on the boat and took all my gear off because I was in such a frazzle, and then this big whale shark swam under us and I jumped back in the water and went for a swim with it quickly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know, amazing.
Far out. Yeah. One day. So with all of that, what does diving do for your well-being? You have had a few health setbacks and illnesses and stuff that's got in the way, including just chest infections and sinus infections and COVID
Oh,
and
so many, yeah.
all of them in a big long list.
yeah.
So how does that go for your well-being?
Yeah, well, it's funny because this is kind of a catch-22 answer. Like, I hear you guys talking about the mental well-being that you get out of diving. But to be honest, like, for me, I think it's been, like, mentally unwell being because, like, especially when you're, like...
Is that all you do is think about diving? Or?
Well, because, like, especially when you're like me and you get a bit obsessive about certain things. And, like, spearfishing was 90% of my personality for a while there. And then COVID. And you can't go diving. And you're just thinking about diving all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just so bad, and you're not living your life, you're just thinking about how you're not going diving.
me and Laura looking at each other. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like,
Podcast may have been brewed out of like a few things like me rupturing my eardrum, which is so not the same as COVID, but I was like, my world is over, like what if I can't dive? I'm
There was,
yeah.
she was
what
like,
can we
I've been
do?
out of the water for 6 weeks. And I was like, it's okay, Laura. She's, you don't understand. If you were out of the water for 6 weeks,
I think it was
I'd be
actually
so upset.
2 to 3
And I was like, yeah,
I thought it was
I
gonna be
do
6
hear
weeks, and she had to put up with that, but I get it because it's like you go, it is
honestly.
what you're thinking about, and then you start thinking of all the health reasons or the things stopping you that you can't just go get in,
I know.
let alone that during COVID it was actually a rule that you couldn't go
Yeah.
diving. I don't think I would have coped with that.
no.
but then, like, that's the exact conversation I've had with Jackson so many times over the last few years, because obviously, you know, being pregnant, having a baby, all the things that come with having a toddler and everything like that.
Yeah.
There's just times where you can't get in the water. So I have probably been the biggest brat, the most annoying person. I had that conversation with Jackson. So I'm never going to go diving again in my life. And like, you kind of work through it because like there have been big patches where, you know, you definitely can't go diving. And even that summer, a few summers ago, where it was just so...
Oh, it was shocking.
Yeah.
Every single, like, there was not, it was like easterlies the whole time. It was bad weather. It was like, maybe we got like, I think that was probably like one of our first summers. But I think we probably got like 4 or 5 real good days out of the whole summer.
But the reality is, right, the water isn't going anywhere. I mean, the fish...
Doesn't make me want to
sure.
not be in it any less.
I know.
But, you know, I do try and remind myself that the water is not going anywhere. Diving doesn't suddenly not exist anymore.
We're
It's
just
the
older.
fish we're worried about. And we're old,
Yeah. But yeah, like, so like there's been probably some times, well, even now, like, I mean, very much now I'm in that patch where it's like, this is not so good for my well-being because I'm just not, you know, it was 90% of my personality and now it has to be 10%. But I mean, honestly, you do work through it and you kind of become okay with it and you work towards other things and you be a normal person and that's all right, whatever. But like in terms of well-being, like, you know, all those things I mentioned with, you know, how it's kind of spiritual or your camaraderie and all that adventure, like, honestly, we need that as humans, right? We need to be doing these amazing adventures and stuff like that.
Like you said, we need to challenge ourselves, and,
Yeah,
and for
yeah.
some people, spearfishing isn't super challenging because maybe they've done it their whole life. But
Yeah.
so for the three of us who have all come into it in adulthood, and whether we enjoyed the water or not, but it is a new challenge and it becomes this new exciting thing, and we do seek adventure. And I think there's a lot of belief maybe that only males are driven by that hunting instinct and that seeking things, but it's so not true. I mean, look at the three of us sitting right here, and we're all drawn to spearfishing because of the hunt, because of the excitement, because of gathering food and all those different things. And
Well,
I
like
think
Athena, she's a hunter, isn't she? She's a Greek goddess or whatever. So all
bow
these
and arrow lady.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I think it's part of us, but maybe it's not so strong in some women to be a huntress or whatever. But yeah, honestly, like when I was doing heaps of diving and free diving, just you get so much satisfaction, just so much, I don't know, physical release from just being in the water. It's just crazy.
So you're a bit of an artist as well. So when you're not it's funny because me and Laura as well, both of us love art. And
Oh, really?
She's an art teacher. I paint sometimes as well. Because I looked at your paintings and I was like, oh my God, she does watercolor as well. And I was like, that's so cool. Like when you're not in the water and you're like in your creative zone, usually I'm like painting fish as well. So it's like looking at your ones, I'm like, what the heck? That's so cool.
I would never classify myself particularly as an artist, especially not as a watercolor artist. Oh gosh, no.
They look pretty great.
It's funny.
The art teacher over here says they are great.
Yeah. See?
I find it really hard to make time to do these things. I've got so many hobbies. I'm just like the jack of all trades and absolutely master of none. I love too many things. And I think I went through a period during COVID maybe where I was picking up a pencil or a paintbrush more. And there's something about being in the zone and creating
You've
something.
got to get into the zone, eh?
Yeah.
And then once you're in the zone, you just bash out a whole bunch. And then when you're not, you're like, it doesn't exist.
I think you need to be impacted by these amazing life experiences in these settings like the ocean to really sometimes be like propelled into creating.
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, like anything, like I love just colour and I love flowers and I'm so girly like that. So I just love creating things, and I wish I had more time to do it, but there's so many aspects to me that I don't have enough time for. Kids ruin everything. They really do. They ruin all your hobbies.
You do spend a lot of time thinking about their things, It's like, where's my fun? Well, you get fun too, don't worry.
I know.
But it is different, eh? It's so different. And like, I don't know, I'm not someone who's particularly become obsessed. Like my whole 90% of my personality isn't being a mum. That's not like my whole thing. But I mean, I love it and I love my kids, but I still need these things in my life to
be sane, be human.
Yeah, totally. So, and it's not even like the fact that you're having a baby in a week or two is not even the reason why you're not in the water at the moment, because you dove all the way through your last pregnancy. Mm-hmm. You went on a little trip to Niue.
Yeah. So I can fill you all in about this, but I will say, like, last pregnancy I was diving at 38 weeks. I think I shot a John Dory and a snapper, shore diving. So right now I'm sitting here just feeling like such a dry human being. But yeah, we went to Niue in May this year, and I said to Jackson, like, I need to get away before, like, I don't have a reason before I can't go diving again for a while, because, having two kids is going to be different from having one. And I really wanted to go earlier on in the pregnancy, when I felt better, but it ended up being like when I was 25 weeks or whatever, and I felt so apprehensive about it. I just felt so apprehensive about it for some reason, and there's something about being a mum which kind of brings out all of your anxieties, well, for me anyway. I had such a bad feeling about it, and
maybe mum tuition or something then.
Oh yeah, mum tuition. And it's weird, like, I think a few other mums have said this too, but I have this really weird fear of dying now. Like, it's so weird. Like, I feel like, I need to be there for my kids. It's like this really strong,
really normal.
Yeah. And it seems kind of like selfish that I'm that important, but I don't want to die. And anyway, so now I'm not that carefree person anymore, and I just had this big kind of like, oh, am I doing the right thing going to Niue when I'm this pregnant? And also, like, if something happened, would there be the hospital care that I needed, or, would I be stuck there? Anyway, that's a great way to start a trip, having major apprehension about it. And yeah, we went to Niue, and it was incredible. Like, honestly, this place is really worth going to for anyone who loves diving, anyone who loves clear water. The accessibility to clear, incredible reef systems is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you can go off the marina there in like the centre of Niue, and it's just crystal clear, like the best fizz you'll ever see, sort of thing. So yeah, honestly, highly recommend it. In terms of actually spearing, though, you need to be a bit careful, and you want to go out on a charter, really, because I think, you know, locals will probably frown on you just going out on their reef and taking fish without permission. So we were going out on charters every day, and we were seeing a lot of fish. I was telling Laura and Elise about how many fish we kind of tended to miss every day. One particular day towards the end of the trip, I think maybe it was like the 4th or 5th day in, we weren't quite far north. It was a bigger boat trip than we'd done the other days, and the swell was huge. Some of the boys were sick as well, and I just had this awful feeling, like I just had this horrible feeling of the day, and I felt so deeply uncomfortable, and I don't usually feel like that when I'm diving. I'm usually carefree and so excited. And anyway, I think we got into a few spots. All the boys shot doggies, something like that. We actually chased a big bait ball full of albacore tuna as well, which is cool. And we got to a point where I had to get back onto the boat. And, you know, anyone who's pregnant knows that this is quite a big challenge, because you've got this big belly in front of you, and usually you push yourself kind of up onto your belly when you're getting back onto the back of a boat. And so this boat actually had a ladder on the back, and it's like a retractable ladder with a big hinge. And like, I know these hinges, you stay away from them, you watch them and everything, but there was so much swell in the water, and I was so uncomfortable that when I was holding onto the ladder, trying to steady myself and not hit my stomach, because you don't want to have any trauma to your stomach, I just lost my balance and grabbed underneath like the hinge of the ladder, and then the ladder hinge like closed on my finger. And I let out a bit of a scream, as you can imagine. Like, I was just like, oh shit, I've just like pinched my finger so badly under that hinge. What was I thinking? And kind of like, you know, fell back into the water. And
So you could fall back. You hadn't like trapped your finger under there, and not like, because once you got your weight on it, you're on it.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it was partly the swell as well, though, because like the swell was so powerful that it was kind of like releasing the ladder and like bringing it up and down, so you're kind of like rocking with it. And so I managed to get the finger up like pretty quickly, I think. And so I was just in the water, like, and all the boys were looking at me like, why did she just scream? Are you okay? And I pulled my glove off. Thank God I had a glove on. And the tip of my finger was hanging off by like a thread of skin. And
oh my God.
the worst part was like my bone was sticking out the end of my finger.
Oh my goodness.
And
Were you shocked that it was that big, given that you just said it was like a pinch feeling? Like, did you think it was that big?
I guess it's like kind of in the moment, right? You just, you know, the pain is just, there's just so much shock and so much, I don't know, it's so quick.
It didn't hit you just yet, like it's still adrenaline.
And you're worrying about your tummy, obviously, too, because you don't want to hit your tummy.
Like
so
the whole situation. But it was just so quick. And then all the boys are like, oh my gosh. And they just, somehow I've like ended up on the boat. They've all kind of like threw me up onto the boat.
Yeah, how'd you get up on there second time round? Someone just dragged you up?
Pulling, everyone just, I just flew
Get her up.
Yeah, get her up. But yeah, thank God for Dan Rogers. He is amazing, and he managed to get his trauma kit out, because this man is so he attracts sharks like no one else in the world, and just carries a trauma kit with him everywhere just in case.
It's a good thing to have for
one
every
of the
diver.
boys that he was the hero of the situation. He claimed, no, I wasn't, but cool, carry on the rescue story.
He's being modest, but yeah, he got his trauma kit out and got his little packet of clotting powder out and put it on my finger and wrapped my finger up so that, like, you know, it wouldn't fall off anymore, because it was already kind of dangling off by a thread.
Always good to do.
It was so calm. Well, he was calm, but I could tell they were all like, oh my God. Then he was just like, proceeded to go, make sure you drink water so you don't go into shock, make sure you drink water. And I think Jackson's just beside himself, just like Sam and John are just like trying to console me, and I'm just I'm just crying. Like, I'm just crying because I feel like such an idiot. Like, how could I put myself at risk in such a remote location when I'm pregnant? And, all I could think is, oh my gosh, something's gonna happen. And like, talking back to doctors and everything now, it's like, no, nothing's gonna happen to your baby. Your baby's in your stomach. That's your finger. Your finger's fine.
You're just getting that like motherly instinct though, like taking over of protection, yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I was just crying. But like in the scheme of things, I think, I was pretty brave.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think you have anything to be embarrassed about at all. You were out doing something you love, being brave, trying to enjoy the ocean before you weren't able to dive, and it sounds like a very unfortunate...
You technically took your kid on holiday. It doesn't matter, it was inside, right?
That would have been pretty scary. Like you say, having all that going through your head, you're out on a boat and you don't quite know how to first aid something like that because it's a really unusual injury.
Yeah, a big trauma really. But no, I felt so stupid because I had that big kind of intuition around something going wrong, and like even just with the whole trip, like, should I be doing this? Like, so much anxiety around it. And so I just kind of proved myself right, really, which is terrible. It's like I orchestrated it.
No, I don't think that's necessarily, like, I mean, in the future, if you ever have that feeling again, like, I mean, you can listen to that, I guess, in some ways, like...
I mean, woo-woo chat, going into the woo-woo chat, I guess you can either see it like you ignored intuition and something occurred and that was why you were getting that intuition and maybe, hey, next time you make a different decision. Or, like you're saying, maybe sometimes our fears can almost cause other things to happen because we're so uncomfortable and uncalm that we're almost like welcoming incident. But I don't know, I mean, that's only you can really make sense of that. But.
I joked afterwards actually that, I was missing my toddler so much and I was feeling so kind of uncomfortable about the whole thing that I actually, did this to go back to New Zealand early.
I'll lose a finger for your son.
But I mean, we were on the spiritual note, I personally think things happen because they're meant to. So from it, as sucky as it sounds, and you're still going through the journey of waiting for it to properly heal and knowing when you can get back in the water, which must suck.
Yeah.
But I'm sure in the long run there will be.
I'll learn something from it for sure, and like even patience, really. Like I think there's been many times in my life where I've been taught I need to be patient. And then you go through another period and be like, oh, I have to be patient again. It's like such a hard thing to learn. It's like one of these like things that's so hard to learn because you have to go through like a long period. But you do, like you go through it and you learn to be more patient, which is amazing. But yeah, honestly, that was just the start of such a long day. And Dan, being the amazing human he was, he even booked us back flights when we were still coming back on the boat. He was like, oh, there's actually a flight like today. You can get out.
But that's the thing, there's only like 1 or 2 flights a week, right?
Exactly,
so it just happened to be on the right day for you to get
amazing.
home.
Yeah, so he just booked us a flight as we were driving back, and they called Mayday to the radio, and they met us at one of like the boat ramps that were higher up on the island. So
well, I'm glad that you had people that you trust that were quick thinking and supportive, and one of the other boys said, I didn't do much while Dan was being helpful, I just distracted her, and obviously everyone's got to do their different thing though, right, in an emergency situation, and at least you're with a group of people that you normally dive a lot with too, by the sounds of it. So they're people who care about you, they're people who know that you're not the type of girl who's just going to scream over nothing, so it sounds like everyone acted pretty quickly and got you to...
Well, I probably do scream over nothing. Like, Jackson's always angry at me because I'll scream or make a loud noise in the car, and he's like, you can't do that in the car.
Does it freak him out?
Nothing. Yeah. I think there's something wrong. You can't just do that. So
this time you were allowed to make that noise, it sounds like.
For sure.
And so from there you went to...
Yeah, Niue Hospital, basically, which is not somewhere you probably want to get stuck for a few days, and they... quickly kind of like sanitized it and stitched it back on, but like they wouldn't have been able to do much if I got stuck there, like realistically. But thankfully we could get on the flight back to New Zealand, and by the time we got into New Zealand it was like 9 o'clock, and we had to go to the hospital, and then we had to go to another hospital, and ended up having a bit of a procedure at like probably 2 a.m. the next day.
Weird question to butt in, because I was dying to ask this. At any point were you able to have like a shower? Are you just like whipped out of your wetsuit and then you go and you've just got this whole situation happening where you've just been whipped out of your wetsuit?
That's like literally the most important thing that was on my mind as well. Like,
That sounds like a dumb
despite
question,
all of it, like I was just like, I really want to have a shower before I go on the airplane. Like,
Oh.
I really. Oh, I'm sorry. I made you
You're
wait.
okay. Maybe I'm a little feral and unhinged, but like, my goodness, I wouldn't even have thought about that. Like,
Oh no, honestly,
yeah.
And what just felt about you being uncomfortable on a plane, because not only are you in panic mode
pregnant.
and you're uncomfortable and
Yeah.
you're pregnant and you've got to go on a
Smell like
plane,
piss, yeah.
all I was thinking was, did you smell like this and get whipped out of your wetsuit
No,
or cut out of your wetsuit?
thank
Like, did
God,
they cut
yeah.
it off you? Like,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, how'd you get your wetsuit off?
yeah. Well, that was a big thing. But the lady was like, the nurse at the UA hospital was like, "Do you think you can take your wetsuit off?" And I was like, "Not really. I think it will probably take my finger off if I do that." And Jackson was like, "Do you have scissors? We can cut it off." And she said, "Oh yeah, but maybe you could do it." So Jackson cut my wetsuit off.
Lucky you know someone that like, runs a wetsuit company.
Yeah, I
to
don't know if did you save that wetsuit, Jackson?
stitch it back
No,
up.
he didn't save it. So, but yeah, anyway, yeah, got cut out of that wetsuit, and then we found that the flight was delayed by an hour, so I actually got to go back to the
Oh,
Airbnb and have a
Joy.
shower for 5 seconds, and thank God for that, honestly.
I'm
Makes such a
I'm
difference.
happy for you. I normally
Yeah, I
don't
know.
mind about having wee-wees in my hair, but I didn't want you
Oh,
having to deal with that whilst also feeling in pain and shock. So,
there is a lot to be, a lot to be dealing with altogether. I mean, like, yeah, that's pretty hectic. And then wondering about what kind of like drugs you're allowed to have with being
Oh.
pregnant and all of that as well.
yeah, that was the worst part actually, because usually you'd be on pretty high doses of tramadol and all sorts of things, but I could only take paracetamol and morphine.
Oh,
But I felt so guilty about taking morphine, and morphine wrecks your stomach. So literally, I was just in absolute pain for weeks and weeks and weeks because she couldn't do anything.
yeah, not
That's
just days. From what you
hectic.
told
Yeah,
us
yeah.
earlier at dinner, it sounds like you had and still have to
Yeah,
put a bag over your hand to shower. And this is how long ago? Like,
3
we did get
months,
to have a
months.
look and a touch. It
Sure,
looks
yeah,
pretty.
we did have a close
pretty
look at
hectic.
this lovely finger.
Yeah.
So 3 months, and you still, and up until not that long ago, still having a lot of pain and swelling, and still have quite a bit of uncomfortableness. In
Yeah,
your
I mean,
finger,
it's
eh?
been pretty been pretty level for a while now, where the pain's not been that bad. It's just you can't do certain things. Like I haven't been working because using it's my right index finger, by the way. So my main finger.
Your trigger finger.
Yeah, exactly, my trigger finger.
I think that was the first question we might have asked Jackson.
Yeah, we're like,
earlier,
but
and
is
was
her trigger finger
is it
okay?
Yeah, is it a shooting hand and is it her trigger finger, which is very Spearo of us. But
So I've been on.
Also, is
ECC.
she alright?
Yeah, I survived. But yeah, like using a mouse, using a keyboard, all those sorts of things, and but the main thing, just getting it wet, is so frustrating. So yeah, honestly, but yeah, I mean, pain's not too bad now. Day to day, I can survive. Whatever.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
So just going into just going back a little bit into just about being pregnant and diving. What are your experiences and like for women who are wanting to dive while being pregnant? Like, do you have tips for them? Did you have to like get specific recommendations from your midwife? Like, I know when I was diving pregnant, there wasn't a lot. All I had seen is Kimmy Werner, and I was like, wow. And they'd said, like, do what you normally do. And I was like, well, okay, this is kind of what I do. But, like, I remember just being really floaty as well and having to put on way more weights because you just try dive down, you're like, bloop, straight back up to the top.
Honestly, yeah. Like, I mean, I have so much to say about it, and it's so mostly negative. Like, I know some people.
You're
would,
fine.
Yeah, I know.
Another creature's taken over your body for a while, don't
Yeah.
worry.
Oh, honestly, like, I'd love to say, it was so special that I got to go diving with my child before he was even born, and I was a human submarine, and I just felt one with Moana or whatever. Like, I just do not feel like that at all. It was the whole process was just uncomfortable, and yeah, just you're not yourself at all. You're not your own physical body. But I guess like for me, the experience between my first and second pregnancy were so vastly different too, because my first pregnancy, I didn't have a baby on this earth already to worry about.
Yeah.
And I kind of, I guess I almost felt like because he's not real yet or not on the world yet, like I wasn't so worried about things. And I would probably go and do things that even now I'd be like, oh man, I don't think I'd do that. Like the boat trips were so bad. Like being on a rough boat when you're pregnant.
Ooh.
I don't like it. So
Yeah.
definitely was in a few situations where I wouldn't recommend going on a boat trip while pregnant. But I think, your stomach's so, it's like being in a bath really. So,
Yeah.
they're so well protected.
They're pretty comfy in there, but
yeah.
you're going to be uncomfortable out of there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then just, how uncomfortable it is. Like honestly, you start off when you've got the most normal body, you're so sick and you're so fatigued and everything's changing so rapidly, like the hormones that you are experiencing day to day, it's insane. And then you get bigger and bigger and bigger and just
bigger.
so uncomfortable, honestly, so uncomfortable. And there's so much that comes with that. Like you just lose your mobility, like even things like duck diving or like holding your breath, like it's so difficult swimming.
Because your lungs will be pushed up as well.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
definitely.
Yeah, and like you're more floaty, so you have to technically wear more weight. But wearing a weight belt's so uncomfortable. You are more buoyant because you're wearing a bigger wetsuit. Well, if you're like me, you're wearing your boyfriend's wetsuit. So it's just a generally very uncomfortable situation. And probably the worst thing was reflux. Getting terrible reflux when I was diving for most of it.
I mean, along with some of those sounds that genuinely sounds horrific, me who've never been pregnant, it just sounds double horrible. You do say, though, that you've shot some of your best fish while pregnant.
Like, yeah, kind of. I guess, like...
Is it because it's such an experience to still be able to do it? Or do you think you just genuinely, like, got some of your biggest kingies? Or was it more because you were still able to dive?
I think I had this weird thing where I wanted to normalize diving while pregnant, especially with my first pregnancy, and I wanted to make a statement with it and be like, I can still do it, I can still dive when I've got a kid and everything like that. And I don't think I feel like that anymore, because I don't want people to feel like they need to do anything that they don't need to do. But yeah, I went hard, and life was easy. I didn't have a kid. I just went hard. I went diving every weekend, and I think if you keep diving, it's easier, right? Because you're just normalizing it for your body. But I for sure shot my two biggest kingfish when I was pregnant.
Amazing.
Yeah, kind of amazing, but also kind of not amazing, because one was at Lee Reef, of all places, and I think after a few seconds Jackson realised that I wasn't going to get the kingfish moving anywhere anytime soon, and so I just was like, okay, I'm dealing with this, and just wound it in for me, because Lee Reef is so sharky. And then another one probably out at the Mokes, and so pretty cool. But also I guess it's an interesting one. It actually teaches you to take opportunities, or to make the most of a situation where maybe otherwise you couldn't do your best, or you couldn't be your best. Because I was diving deep to begin with, but then when I got to my second trimester, getting pretty pregnant, I decided I'm not going to do anything I'm not comfortable with. If I'm not comfortable diving deep, I'm just going to stay on the surface. And so I did heaps of diving from the surface, and you kind of just find opportunities, you find things to shoot from the surface. So
learn to be a more careful shot, probably, because you're on the surface. I
probably still missed just as many fish, but I found John Dory in a few meters. I probably shot both those big kingfish from the surface, basically. So still heaps of amazing experiences for sure.
That's so cool. For women who might be pregnant now, or just learning about it, or
I think their lives are going to be ruined if they ever have a child, like me. I'm worried I'm never about to dive, so I'm not sure if I want one. Listen. Yeah.
do you have any tips? Yeah.
I guess main thing is I am being negative about the experience.
Sometimes it's just being realistic. Like we hear all the good stuff, la la la, your body's so beautiful, temple, you're glowing. I mean, there's all of that. But personally as well, I was like, oh my God, being pregnant sucks, because you're so independent.
Yeah.
And then now you have to just constantly everything hurts, your hips hurt, I don't know. And plus for me, I had polyhydramniosis, which is where you get fluid everywhere. So I just turned into this big giant jelly person. But it does take over like every single part of you. So it's okay to be like, oh my God, I didn't enjoy pregnancy. Like,
You go
cool that
crazy.
people do. Love that for them.
Yeah.
Never want to do that again.
I know, 100%. It's so funny. I do have a few tips and bits and pieces like that, but yeah, I mean, I say these negative things, but the reality is it is a period of time that you'll get through. Like if we go back to that patience theme, like honestly, you'll get through it, and there'll be some upsides to it. You might learn to be more resilient or learn how to shoot more fish from the surface or
People
something
move
like
out of the way
that.
for you in the supermarket.
Exactly.
People reel your kingies in for you. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Embrace the bring a princess. Sorry, carry on.
I know. Well, like, you do get spoiled by people, like, well, your friends when you're pregnant. So
Yeah.
that's nice. So you will get through it, and like honestly, what it gives you is the greatest gift in the world, basically, your kids, and you'd never change that in a million
absolutely.
years. Even if they still put a hamper on your life for the remaining 20 years that they're with you, sort of thing. But yeah, don't be afraid to do it. Like, don't put it off because of what I'm saying or because of what you hear. Just go out and do it, and you'll find a way to get your life back to normal or to adjust. But yeah, into the kind of nitty gritty. I think I've written some notes down. So this is the one topic that I wrote notes down about.
We love it. We love it.
Yeah, all about the notes.
So,
Because, I guess to add context, there's so many people that just as females go, I can't believe you go spearfishing. I can't believe you do that. I can't believe you get in with the sharks. I can't believe you do that as a girl.
For sure.
Add on top of that, a lot of people have these
For
ideas
sure.
that we shouldn't do so many things when we're pregnant.
I
So
know.
I think
And
it is something really important to talk about.
100%. But
And not just for spearfishing, but for like doing the things that
running
make you,
even when you're pregnant.
make you or give you mental well-being or physical well-being. Like,
The amount of people who looked at me funny or commented when I was running with my first pregnancy was, keep your opinions to yourself, you old ladies. Come on. honestly.
Yeah.
So
Gets
funny.
a little say into your life, when
Yeah.
you're carrying another human.
But I guess my points are every pregnancy is so different. So my first pregnancy was so different to my second in terms of physicality and mentality and how I felt. So don't think that because I'm doing something that, it will be your experience or, what you should do. Listen to your doctor or your midwife first. And I mean, I know that can be hard. I had a midwife that was just like, yeah, cool, whatever, do it. Like you always do it. That's fine. That's great. And obviously I'd researched it as much as I could as well. And in my mind, the risk was minimal. I guess a point to really stress though is that we're talking about free diving here and not scuba diving because
That's very, very specific.
you can't scuba dive when you're pregnant.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're free diving and we're not doing anything crazy like no limits free diving, which is another kettle of fish. So in terms of little bits of tips and stuff, I would just say only do what's comfortable for you at that given time in your pregnancy. When you're 4 weeks pregnant, you're going to feel pretty normal. You probably haven't even got the sickness hitting you or many hormones hitting you. Even that first trimester, you're probably going to feel you've got your normal body and everything like that, just maybe a bit sicker and everything. So just take it as it comes. When you get to your third trimester, you're going to be huge and uncomfortable. And, if you don't want to go diving anymore, that's cool. Just don't do it. Honestly.
Got nothing to prove.
No, exactly. Just, listen to your body first. I'd also say go with people that you trust. I was always diving with Jackson and he'd know to give me special care, or he'd know that, I'm not going to dive down 30 meters to save him if he blacks out or, things like that. Also, obviously with Niue, I had, a great bunch of guys looking after me.
Yeah.
Giving me the princess treatment, which is nice. And then just a few kind of practical things like sun protection. When you're pregnant, you can get something called melasma, this pigmentation on your face. So be really careful about exposing your skin to too much sun because you'll get this bad pigmentation that could last forever. I've got it really badly from my first pregnancy that I never had before, and it makes me look tired. So I hate it, and I wish I was more sun safe during that first pregnancy. So be really, really diligent about sun protection. Lots of water, take breaks when you need it. Don't try and, prove silly things to other people. Obviously, eventually you'll probably need a bigger wetsuit. I was so uncomfortable trying to squeeze in my old wetsuits, and it would just push everything up and reflux would get worse. Antacids. Be careful what you eat because it will all just come back up. And then, I think maybe the biggest thing would be careful when it's rough. Like, maybe don't go out if it's rough, because, there's more that you can regret by going in something happening rather than taking a risk. And as we kind of mentioned, follow your intuition a bit. Like, don't put yourself in stupid situations when you're, maybe a little bit more delicate. Not that delicate, but
I mean, you're two people in one.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, it's really cool to hear, and I hopefully, maybe it's not next week, maybe it's in a year's time, but there'll be people that stumble across this podcast who are women who want to be pregnant or are pregnant and love spearfishing or even any other activities, and they can take some of that to, put on board for them still doing those activities. And just like, I think your approach to it sounds really like realistic. You don't sound you're like, oh, just whatever, I'm just gonna risk everything. You still sound calculated and smart about the way you went about it, but you love it. And hopefully this little finger situation of yours gets sorted soon, and that you have another beautiful human in the world, but also that there's some time you can start enjoying the water again, and
for sure,
feel a little bit less like you sounded like your last few dives sounded hectic. And that you can have some calm, chill, nice ocean-connected times coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. But finger, who knows? This could be months and months and months, and I'll still have a newborn then, so whatever. I'm pretty chill about it, which is nice.
Yeah, it's going to be all good.
Well, leading into what might be something that makes you miss spearfishing, but obviously we're hugely passionate about competitive spearfishing for women, and you are too. So we would like to know what got you into the competitive side. Like, why did you suddenly go, you know what, this is really cool, but I also want to compete with this sport?
Yeah, this is a funny question, because I often ask myself, why am I doing this? Like, what does this even mean to me? Like, why am I competing, or why do I need to compete? But first dive comp I did was the 2019 Nationals in Wellington. And I mean, really the main reason I did it was because it was in Wellington for that year. Sorry, hiccuping. It was in Wellington for that year, and I thought, what better chance on my home turf to give it a go, and lots of people I knew were doing it, and found a dive buddy to do the open with, so just gave it a shot to see how I went. And I think I came second in the women's, just by one fish.
Heck yeah!
That's pretty cool. It got under my skin, because you just all those what if, could have stories where you're like, damn it, I could have just
fish you didn't get, the fish you didn't see.
I know. So I think I felt like I needed to go back and give it another go after that. And I am naturally quite a competitive person. Again, that's where I'm probably like you, Elise. Like, I'm quite competitive. And it's not necessarily that I want to beat other people and be the best. It's like I want to beat myself and be better. Yeah. Which is, I don't know, so satisfying. So
can you be quite hard on yourself?
Yeah, I can, and I think that kind of has led into me like questioning why and if I'm going to do competitive spearfishing, especially with this baby thing and having kids and stuff. Like, for me, that year I did the first Nationals, I was like diving like twice a week and then free diving 3 times a week, sort of thing.
Right, okay.
I was so trained. I was just, in it. But then, after COVID and after having babies, I was so untrained, So it's you're like, I shouldn't be doing this. I've got like no training behind me. I'm such a fraud, everything like that.
Oh, definitely not.
You still came along in February, just gone, and placed where?
Well, one more fish, I could have been first, but whatever.
Exactly.
Same old.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was meant to be a singles competition, but technically, were you a pair?
Oh, I know. Exactly. Yeah, I was probably like almost 12 weeks pregnant at the time, and
and came second in New Zealand. She's a badass. I love it.
It was so miserable though. Like, I was so sick this time, and I was questioning it so badly, like, why would I'm not going to do it. I'm so sick. I'm so tired. And then kind of just like woke up the day before and was like, I've got nothing to lose by doing it, especially because I'm pregnant. Like, I've got like absolutely nothing to lose. So I might as well give it a go if I, feel up to it on the day. And like, actually, like, I probably felt like I was diving better than I had, like, since I was first ever pregnant, like, for years.
Cool.
Yeah, it was so weird, honestly, so weird. But
And did you enjoy it? Were you glad you entered?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was hurting that night. Like, honestly, I was so sick and tired afterwards because I, expended so much energy and dived so hard that day, honestly. But yeah, like, you get such a thrill out of it. And I don't know, why do we feel so good when we do it? It's weird.
I don't know, but I love it.
I know, it's terrible. So I keep saying to Jackson, no, I'm not going to do a comp because I'm not trained and I don't feel good enough and blah, blah, blah. Like, I've said this to him so many times and he gets so frustrated with me and just goes, oh my God, just do it. Like, or don't do it, whatever, I don't care. He's just like, God, shut up, honestly. It's so funny.
It's a strange, like, I don't know if the word's perplexing or whatever it is, where you can be like, really enjoy like a leisurely dive, a recreational dive, but also there's a lot of different feelings in a competitive dive, and they're both good feelings, but they're different.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to put your sort of finger on, like you say, that self-challenge. But it's also, you are going against other people, and it's,
for sure.
there's that little bit of luck in it as to what fish will come along as well, and then there's all the skill involved and all the it's like a compiled history of all the dives you've done in the past, and the fact that, I don't know if you dived in much in Kapiti and things like that, but those help too, but it's just more like that compiling of all the experiences you've had, like the awesome one you described, being able to face fears and all those things coming together in that one day, and then being able to go, well, hey, that was the outcome of all those experiences I've had, the effort I've put in, plus some of the different fish coming along. It's just, there's so much to it.
I know. And it's so weird, like, because, like, I feel like I've been so much more untrained for, like, the more recent ones that I've done than, like, the first ever one I did, but...
She's seasoned. That's why.
Oh, I don't
Seasoned
know.
professional.
How many have I done? Maybe I've done 5 nationals now. I've even done freediving comps, though. Gosh, that's, like, a whole other kettle of fish. My gosh.
Or no fish. Kettle of no
I know.
fish.
I like that.
So it's not off the cards that you'll return to the competitive scene?
No, not at all. Like, I mean,
Nice.
I'll probably go through the same old, oh, no, I haven't been diving. I probably won't do it. I'll probably go through that same old mind games.
Show up to Stewart Island, one little bit less fingered, 2 babies, one in each arm, and still just crush.
I think I can clearly say that I'm not going to be going to Stewart Island this year for a few reasons. Like, I think the baby will only be like 2 or 3 months old.
Okay.
And I'll have a toddler that I have to look after because, I mean, Jackson will be very in the zone with what he's doing. But also, the Stewart Island one, I'm kind of okay to miss it.
Is it because of all the great, like, beautiful, teethy whiteys?
Yeah, those white sharks.
Yeah. Good.
So I'm going to live vicariously through you.
Starting to
girls.
think a bit more about this.
You trust your mum tuition. My tuition tells me that I'm going to be just fine.
Yeah, and I'm diving with Laura, so I'm going to be fine as well.
You will be just fine. You honestly will be.
She'd be right,
Thank
mate.
you to my recent Shark Band sponsorship.
Yeah, one on each limb, eh?
Well, rolling into the next one.
Have you got an ick?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet, I don't even know to explain it. Tell us about it.
Like, honestly, the funniest thing is, it's me. It's me when I finish diving and I stink like piss.
Oh, that's
It's
your biggest
honestly,
ick.
it's so disgusting, and it kind of goes back to what you were saying about, having a shower. Like, all I want to do after I've been diving, all I want to do is go and have a shower. Like, as soon as I get out of the water, I just want to have a shower. I just hate smelling like piss so much, and I try my best to try and have a bit of a rinse off afterwards, even if it's really cold. So that probably leads into my even bigger ick, which is men who don't have scuppers. Like, if you were gifted with a penis, why wouldn't you have a scupper? Like, why? Like, I almost
You
feel
too
like,
can have a scupper, you know.
I know, but I don't know. I think it's because I'm with a guy who does wetsuits, and he's just like, I don't know where to put it. And I'm like, well, you actually do know
Just
where to put
exactly the same place as the males, and you just put a flexible shiwi in there, so it's...
I don't have a lady stepper.
doesn't like I
I'm gonna
do.
let the cold water in on my little lady bits, alright?
Yeah, it does sometimes get uncomfortable, but I'm gonna think it out. I'm gonna make it a thing where we don't have to piss on ourselves,
And I love you for that. 'Cause
and then we don't have to zip our flaps up either by accident.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so open to it. I will wear it.
All right.
I will wear it.
But that's interesting that nothing anyone else does icks you as much as your own
I'm sure they
stinky
do.
wee smelling.
I'm sure
I
they
don't
do.
understand why boys don't all have scuppers either, though, if they had the chance.
Oh, I know. Honestly, like I don't own the boat though, and like Jackson gets so annoyed at so many things. So you know, whatever.
The first time I saw a scupper, I giggled so much.
I know. I know. I
It's
think
like
the
a
first-
wetsuit for a little penis.
I know. The first one I saw was a pink one too. So
Nice. Well, speaking of funny things, do you have a funny kind of memory or story at all to do with diving?
yeah, I mean, this is such a hard question because like I dive with Dan Rogers, and Paul Best, and John Waugh, and they are just you just have so many hilarious moments every time you go diving. All of these stories would be highly inappropriate. I could never tell them on a podcast.
Please do. Please
I
do.
knew-
Those are the best ones.
You have to be, you know, they're kind of like they have
After Dark Edition.
after dark edition. Like 100% you need to be there as well for these stories, and also like I'd probably be, you know, putting someone out there that doesn't want to be put out there
Fair enough.
Breaking the
spot.
boy code.
on the
by-
spot.
So which
Yeah.
one of them shit themselves?
I'm pretty sure they've all shit themselves. Honestly,
Knew it.
these Auckland boys, they shit a lot on the boat. But, no, I was thinking about it, and there's kind of two highly competing moments, really. One is like not just a moment in time; it's a continual moment. It's how many times I've had to have a serious conversation with Paul Best when he's either completely naked or naked from the waist down. Like, and I've just had to.
I don't know which is worse on a
already
dude.
told me that he
a
doesn't
fully naked
listen.
person or just a dude with a top on with a doodle
I
hanging
think it's
out.
worse. It's worse when he's dressed from the on the top because it's just
Yeah.
a little peeky.
Yeah, he's told us that he doesn't listen to podcasts, so he'll probably
There you
never
go,
hear
you're
this.
safe.
Oh yeah, no, he'd
That
laugh.
is...
He's traumatized me.
You said it's a funny moment, that's an ick. That
Oh no, I kind of love it, but it's just hilarious. You just want to look. You just want to look. You're having a serious conversation, trying to respect the
You're like,
person. But
eyes up here, Sophie.
I
So-
know. Yeah. Anyway, I've heard way worse stories about him. But
What's the
that's fine.
what's your other competing story?
My other competing story is when we were in Eden in Australia. So we did the Inter-Pacifics there in 2019. That's actually what happened when I came second for nationals. I ended up going to the Inter-Pacific. So I was just like, what is this? How can I be competing for New Zealand? Anyway, on the last night we had a party, an after party, because we'd all competed and worked hard or whatever. And for some reason, the after party was in our cabin, the girls' cabin. I don't know. That was so annoying. But anyway, I got to a point in the night and I was just like, oh, God, I'm going to bed. This is just too much. And we're getting up at like 4 a.m. tomorrow to get to the airport. So I went and slept in the boys' cabin, called it a night. But basically, while I was sleeping, all the boys in the girls' cabin decided that they'd have a great time with a white Sharpie on my sports tube and write the most
artist.
profound things. Profane, like
Disgusting.
profanities all over my sports tube. The thing I still question is why did they have
Who brings a white Sharpie to a party?
Yeah.
I know. Why
Art
else-
teachers do
Because
sometimes. I've even got Vivids in my bag. But why did they have them on a trip to
a
another
white
country?
Sharpie of all things. And anyway, just this, when I woke up in the morning, this sports tube was completely desecrated with the most awful things you've ever seen in your life. Drawings, a lot of penises,
Self-portraits.
things like that.
Penis
Basically,
portraits, yeah.
mostly rude things about me, which are, I mean, pretty funny. Honestly, you know, pictures that you'd never want your parents to see, your grandmother to see, anything like that. And so I had to go to the airport with this sports tube.
Sorry, I'm so mature.
Oh, no, honestly, with the rudest things that you've ever seen. The rudest drawings you've ever seen. There were probably full-blown vaginas. There was, you know, Sophie loves whatever, loves everybody. You know, of making out that I was the biggest. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I've got the mentality of a 15-year-old boy right here.
Yeah. 100%. Like, the worst things that horrible drunk boys could think of, they were on
And
there.
off you go to the airport.
Yeah, and I was like...
With your team shirt on, New Zealand team shirt, and just like reeling around it.
Yeah, I was like, I might not actually be able to fly. And thankfully all the air hostesses just thought it was hilarious and probably didn't read it too closely, but I was mortified. And, probably the worst part about it was it wasn't actually my sports tube, it was a friend's sports tube. So
Yeah.
I
They're
bought it.
not cheap. I went to buy one on the weekend. They're a couple of $100.
Be quiet, Kat. So anyway, I brought the sports tube off him, so because I felt so bad about it.
You're like, but I want a discount because it's got dicks all over it.
Yeah,
There's some
exactly.
great inspiration for the Stewart Island Nationals Party. I will be taking all my pens.
The white ones. in
Anyone who's
particular.
listening, be
Yeah.
afraid.
Yeah,
I am
amazing. The worst thing was the next thing I was going to use the sports tube was a trip to Tonga, and they're quite a conservative nation. They have a lot of church-going people and everything, and I was genuinely scared that they wouldn't let me into the country with it, so I spray painted it glitter gold.
Nice. Good call.
I enjoyed that. It was good. All right. Rolling into some sort of fishy chat. We've got some different things. And actually, we meant to ask you this a little earlier. If you had to pick between dive locations, now that you've been living up north for quite a while, but you're from and born in Wellington, if you had to pick a dive location on your next dive, would you rather go somewhere near Wellington and where, or would you rather go somewhere up north and where?
Oh, I'm so boring. Honestly, I just want to go to the Mokes. I want to go to the Moana Islands all the time.
It's not boring, it's a glorious
Oh,
place.
it's so amazing. Honestly, I just want to go out there. I'm so terrified of all the sharks out there. Honestly, but
I've never seen any out there. I've been there like 5 times. Never seen a single shark out there, I don't
Are you
think.
taking the piss?
No.
No,
I
I
went there a
don't
couple of
think
days
I've
ago,
seen
got a
them
kingy, no sharks. We got our first kingies there with Darren, no sharks.
My face is disbelief if you don't know. Like, honestly, I went there once and there were like
Next time we'll get
20.
nailed by sharks. Eh?
There were like 20 in one
Jinxed
little
ourselves.
patch. I was just like
20.
Touch wood.
Yeah, in like one little patch, like by a rock. I was just like, holy shit, I'm going to die. And I just screamed and ran over to swam over to Jackson. He was like, oh yeah, that's pretty normal.
I think I would have passed out.
Yeah.
Touch wood, touching a table. Never seen a shark at the
Yeah,
Mokes yet,
myself in the head.
but we haven't really been there much in summer. So, okay. The
Yeah,
Mukahena Islands would be your dive location. What about fish? What is your favourite fish to hunt and why?
So boring. You've had this answer before. Snapper. Like, it's honestly just such a fun fish to hunt. Like, it's so dynamic and it's so different every time. And you have to be ready all the time. And I just love snooping and just shooting fish. Like, I could happily just swim and snoop for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember you just pulling in this massive one in one comp. I don't know where it was. Maybe we were like hen and chicks.
No, it
was like
I did shoot
Rukaka.
an okay one there.
Yeah, and then you were like, I was just like struggling away, and then you're like, oh no, I just found this up in the shallows. It was like a metre deep or something. I was like, oh my god, that's amazing.
Very fluky. I don't usually shoot them in comps, that's for sure.
Pretty impressive. Do you have any dive day rituals?
I would have used to say drink coffee. I would have said that. Like, that would have been, coffee was part of my personality. It was 90% spearfishing, 10% coffee. But now not coffee anymore. Like, since I've been pregnant, I've found that it gives me terrible reflux and that I don't need it at all. I don't need caffeine at all.
Weird, eh? It's weird
Yeah.
when you get to that level of life where you're just like, oh my god, I'm waking up without a coffee and I'm okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
So I haven't had basically coffee since sometime during my first pregnancy, or like caffeinated coffee. But so anyway, my actual dive day rituals, I love eating in the morning. I love fueling up. I think it's helpful. It gets things moving. It gives you energy for the day. It's like the one meal you can digest and not have problems. And then, for me, I like to make sure I'm really covered in sunscreen. I'm really still struggling with the sunscreen thing, like what I can use that works and actually lasts. And
Have you found one that is good?
like, I really like the, I think it's Soul Zinc.
Right.
SOL, Sol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of made from like cocoa and lots of natural beautiful things, and it's like a physical sunscreen, so you can see it on there. But I just find nothing really lasts like you want it to last, and I
Yeah.
always get sunburnt. And I'm just really struggling with not getting sunburnt when I'm diving. I think it's because I have kind of olivey skin. I just always
You get that beautiful tan line where you look like you have a beard.
so bad. It's like, people made so much fun out of me for it, but so I'll have like a caked face and I still get sunburnt. But
Yeah.
yeah, slip, slop, slap, definitely. And then the other one was such a boring girl thing. Like, I just have to put so much conditioner in my hair. to like stop it from matting.
Not a boring girl thing. It's needed.
Yeah.
Nuts.
We recently
Yeah.
got asked at the expo about our hair and what we
Yeah.
do with it, but by a male, because he had long hair too, so
Yeah,
it's for everyone.
It's legit. It's legit. Like honestly, like I need to just like coat my hair and conditioner, and then like I don't know. I find plaiting for me makes it more matted, but if I do like the weird like the horsey thing where you have lots of elastics down your ponytail.
Nay.
It's got another name.
Oh, I can kind
I've
of.
recently been
you
sent
imagine
quite
what
a few
that's-
things.
what it kinda looks like?
So you know the horsey thing where you do
Yeah,
the hair
yeah.
ties? Well, this newer one is little balls, and people call them the anal beads.
Yeah, I was literally
And I was
thinking
like,
it.
what?
Like a ripcord
No.
or something.
Yeah, I blurted it out. At the
Cat just
time
fell off the table.
To this dude who looked very shocked. But yeah, apparently if you put these little ball things in the hair and then the elastics, but it seems like a lot of admin just to stop your hair and knot out.
I think honestly the best thing you can do for your hair is to cut it off, which sounds terrible, and I know people should be able to keep their long
Hard to
hair.
be a mermaid with short hair.
I know, but
But it
honestly,
does look great on
You
you.
suit a bob.
You do
Can
suit a
imagine
bob.
me with a bob.
I can
I think I've got pictures of you with a bob, Laura, but you must have been like 10. Your mum showed me.
Not cutting my hair for sport.
It's good to have standards.
Take anything but my hair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're nearly at the end of our questions/time. We don't want to
Nice.
take all night. We know you've got toddlers to get up in the morning, but we have a couple of things. One of them being, if you could go back to when you started spearfishing after this trip overseas, and you're in Wellington and you're getting in, what would be the hot tip that you would give yourself?
It's a funny one because I don't know that I necessarily would. Like, I feel like my journey's been a journey for a reason, and like I progressed so quickly in the start anyway because I was just so obsessed and dedicated with it, and I consumed so much. So I just think you maybe just taking the journey as it came was a good thing, and it's kind
nice.
of led me to places. That's such boring.
It's not boring.
You would
No.
probably want a tip, don't you, from there?
No, it's not
That's
boring.
right.
If you're
I
pretty
think-
much saying you wouldn't change anything, then you're just saying you'd still go about the way you came across spearfishing and everything you've learnt in the same way. It's not boring.
Like, I've got
Any
so
new
much-
divers just get obsessed with it.
Yeah,
and it will
yeah,
work,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, exactly. That's a good one. Like, I mean, if new people want advice, my advice would be, same as what I mentioned before, find someone who's really good at diving and make them your boyfriend, and
And don't put your hand in the ladder.
don't put your head in the ladder. And the other one, I think Darren mentioned this actually, swimming. Swim. Do lots of swimming. Like, don't just go to a spot that you expect to be good. Like, spend lots of time in the water swimming and, like, exploring and seeing bad patches, good patches. That's one thing that, like, Jackson does a lot of. We swim for hours and hours and hours because that's how you will find lots of snapper to shoot, or find a good patch, find a bad patch. That's how you kind of learn and how you get good at swimming. So yeah, spend time in the water swimming. Yeah, don't just go to a hot spot necessarily.
Love it. Have you got a next dream location or fish at all?
Yeah, two places I'd love to go. I want to go to Tahiti just because it looks beautiful and magical,
Yeah.
and the life. But
2027,
What's
potentially Pacific Games if spearfishing gets involved in that.
Pacific Games, what are they? Like Inter-Pacifics?
No, it's kind of a bigger.
It's public knowledge.
It's they're putting.
Cut
I
this
think
out.
people are wanting to put forward spearfishing into the Pacific Games, which is kind of like a mini Olympics sort of style.
Well, it makes
Like
sense.
the Oceania Games kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a big part of some of the islands' cultures, especially Tahiti and like New Caledonia and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. I don't anticipate that I'd actually shoot anything in Tahiti. Unless you're going to the outer islands that are more prolific, but it just sounds like it's so hard to
You
shoot.
sound
Yeah.
very deep and
Yeah,
very
yeah.
scarce fish from
Yeah.
what people have said.
I just want to go to Tahiti to experience the beauty of Tahiti.
Yeah.
In terms of actual spearfishing, I want to go back to Tonga. Tonga is
Wow.
just so crazy and prolific in terms of fish, but it's so remote and, it's not super comfortable compared to other places. My cat is being very cuddly.
very, very coming
So
up. So
cute.
Yeah, so yeah, Tonga, Tahiti, and then fish to shoot would be moo, so the big eye sea bream, or mahi mahi. It's like I just missed a
Awesome.
mahi mahi. Well, I just missed an opportunity at a mahi mahi in Niue, and moo are a hard one to shoot, a big challenge. So yeah, I'd like to do that.
very cool. Oh, thank you so much for your time, Sophie. It's been such a pleasure talking to you and
Yeah, and I'm
getting to know you.
Yeah, as we hopefully get to spend more time with you and have more chats and hopefully get to go diving with you in the future, that we'll be able to have more chats about all of the things of life and spearfishing with you, and watch you bring another great human into the world. And
we'll see about that. Yeah, you're more than welcome. Honestly, like I just am so enthusiastic about the podcast, so I wanted to help out. But I can't wait to actually spend more time with you guys and go diving with you. You're the girls I need. You're the energy I need in my life.
Yeah, honestly, let's do it.
I just need to get through this next little postpartum period and finger issue period, and we'll be right as rain. Hopefully.
We'll be here.
Nice.
All good. We'll be here, ready.
And it sounds like we've got a lot in common just from this sort of 1.5 hours of yarning. It sounds like we would all get along really well. So I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
Sure.
Thank you. 17 episodes in, and wow, we have had some great guests on here, and Sophie is no exception. We can't wait to get in the water with her soon and witness her comeback. We have no doubt that with genetics like hers and her partners, if their little humans decide to be a Spearo, then we have got some fierce competition in the next 15 years or so.
And no doubt the little humans with Elise Klein's blood in them will be battling it out with them as well. And even though Sophie, Jacko, Elise and I will be in our 50s by this stage, I'm sure there will be many more years of competitive and recreational spearing stories to share in the future. Thanks for sharing your story with us, Soph.
As always, cheers for listening, and please slide into our DMs and let us know which episodes are your favourite. Share them with a Spearo mate or two and get these legend yarns out there and enjoyed. We're working hard on getting our episodes up on Apple too.
And we've thrown our hat into the ring to hopefully have some of you vote for us for the New Zealand Podcast Awards, which is online. Check it out, and hopefully you can enjoy some other awesome podcasts from New Zealand as well. So until next time, go enjoy the water when you can, be that the pool, spa, lake or ocean, because we know, like us, you'll thank yourself for getting into the blue state of mind.
Toodles!